Throughout the years, many players have attempted to influence where they will be taken in the NBA draft in one way or another. It's been said that Kobe Bryant told teams like the Charlotte Hornets and Sacramento Kings that he didn't want to play there because he wanted to be a Los Angeles Laker. It's also been said that Steph Curry's agent wanted the Knicks to trade up for him in the draft because he wanted Steph in New York, not Golden State. And even recently, LeVar Ball made it very clear that he did not want Melo to be a Golden State Warrior because they already had Steph and Clay, and in LeVar's own words, quote, "Melo ain't no follower." And really, all of this should come as no surprise. Each and every year, there are plenty of agents, players, and even parents who try to influence what team is going to draft what player. The thing is, what if I were to tell you that in the past, one future NBA All-Star took things much further than I've ever heard of? What if I were to tell you that one upcoming rookie successfully tricked a team into trading for him right after the draft so that he could play closer to home? And trust me when I say, the way this player went about tricking the Philadelphia 76ers was absolutely absurd. In fact, I will go as far as to say you will never hear a story like this again in the future because I just don't think it's possible. So what's up guys, Mike here, and today we are going to talk about how Jason Williams tricked the Philadelphia 76ers into trading for him after the 1990 NBA draft. This is an absolutely wild story, and I do want to say, now on this channel you may remember way back that we have covered Jason Williams in the past. That was actually in an NBA scandals video because yes, this is the same Jason Williams that got convicted of manslaughter. If you want to hear about that story, the link to that video will be in the description. But as for this story, well, all I have to say is please subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video, and please leave a like for YouTube's algorithm. That would help out a ton. And now let's jump into this story because again, it is just insane. So to set the stage here, we are in the 1990 NBA draft, and with the 21st pick, the Phoenix Suns selected Jason Williams out of St. John's University. Now, according to Jason, the only thing he knew about Phoenix headed into the draft was that it was hot and had a lot of pickup trucks, which meant when Jason was drafted, he yelled at his television screen, "Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not." Now, I have to imagine Jason was right in this situation. We've already seen Knicks fans just boo picks because they did not like the player. And I have to say, I agree with Jason. I don't think he exactly got off to a great start with the Phoenix Suns there, especially when you consider that he proceeded to wait 2 months before going out to Phoenix to begin practicing with the team. Now, it is at this point in the story where I do want to remind you, Jason Williams does end up tricking the Philadelphia 76ers here, but first, it is very important to note that Jason wanted to stay close to home. He did not want to go to Phoenix at all, which meant after getting selected, Jason took about 2 months to head over to Phoenix, where he would then presumably begin practicing with the team. Now, to say things got off to a rough start actually in Phoenix is an understatement. And before we continue guys, I'm very excited to say that this video is sponsored by DraftKings. And now I know on this channel we do talk about basketball, but if there is one day of the year where I'm watching football and not basketball, it is definitely Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is a day for food, family, and of course football. Now, DraftKings is an official betting partner with the NFL, and they have an incredible offer for you, because right now on DraftKings, all new customers can wager $1 on the game of their choosing, and as long as that game does not end in a 0-0 tie, you will receive $100 in free bets on DraftKings Sportsbook. That's right, if you wager just $1 on any game during Thanksgiving and either team scores a single point, you are going to win $100 in free bets. And on top of this, of course, DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. You are able to deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Trust me guys, I love DraftKings, and they are absolutely hooking you guys up. So guys, having said all this, I think it's obvious, don't miss out on Thanksgiving football with DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, DraftKings Sportsbook is an official betting partner of the NFL, and all you have to do to download DraftKings Sportsbook right now is go click the link in my description. Again, that's promo code Korzemba. If you enter in that promo code and bet $1 on any Thanksgiving NFL football game, you receive $100 in free bets on DraftKings Sportsbook. To me, that is a no-brainer. So again, thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video, and for now, let's jump back into it. As Jason remembers, when headed to Phoenix, he had a 6 o'clock plane to Phoenix in the morning and was partying in New York City until 5:30 in the morning, just 30 minutes before his flight. Now remember, this was in a time where airlines were much less strict. Was Jason Williams embellishing here? Possibly. However, what Jason remembers is continuing to drink on the plane, continuing to drink in the hotel's minibar when he got there, and then eventually passing out and waking up to a knock on his hotel room door. Now remember, Jason had never been to Phoenix, and And well, I'll just let this story play out. From Jason himself, and I hear a loud knock on the door. I answer it in my underwear. It's Jerry Colangelo, owner of the Phoenix Suns. I'm sweating, stinking, I'm sure, like a distillery. I can feel the alcohol coming out of my pores. Jerry looks at me. Jason, he says, but I'm still in New York. At least I think I'm in New York. What happened? I yell. They dropped the bomb on us. Where am I? I need to get in touch with my parents to make sure they didn't get hit by the bomb. Can you get me a phone line? Jerry's still looking at me. Oh my, he says, we've got a problem. Yes, that is correct. Jason Williams waited 2 months to go to Phoenix. Then when he finally headed over to Phoenix, he got so drunk that he forgot he ever went to the state of Arizona, thought he had woken up in New York, and when he looked outside, he saw nothing but desert, and so he thought that an atomic bomb had been dropped on the United States. Imagine you were the Phoenix Suns owner at this point in time, and you went to go greet your first-round draft pick, and he stunk of alcohol, and not only that, but his first words to you were, what happened? They dropped the bomb on us. Where am I? That story, of course, is absolutely insane and already explains why Jason Williams would be traded by the Phoenix Suns to the Philadelphia 76ers before he even played a single game in the NBA. But the thing is, that's not the full story, because continuing on, Jason would say the following. First, he would claim that he had a meeting with Jerry Colangelo where things went wrong, and so he threw everything off of Jerry Colangelo's desk, walked out of his office, took a flight home, then was eventually threatened by Jerry Colangelo that if he did not come back to Phoenix, he was basically never going to play in the NBA ever again. Jason would go back to Phoenix, where in his own words, he proceeded to say, when I'm back in Phoenix, because I'm the team's first round pick, the team gives me a Pontiac Grand Prix. The second round pick gets a Cadillac. I'm pissed off about that. So I take that Grand Prix and I drive into the parking lot and crash into every pole I can see. Then I give the car back to them. Yes, that is how far Jason was willing to go to get out of Phoenix. He actually proceeds to go on in his book about how he destroys 2 other cars before eventually the owners had had enough. They realized that they had picked an absolute dud, at least for the time being. And so Phoenix finally made the decision to trade Jason Williams to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, to give you an idea of just how bad of a trade this was for Phoenix, the Suns were basically cutting their losses here as they took back a first-round pick in 1994 in exchange for Jason Williams, aka they traded their first-round pick in 1990 before he even played a game for a first-round pick 4 years later. That didn't exactly look great for Jason at the time, but the thing is, the Philadelphia 76ers thought they were getting an absolute steal. And yes, guys, it is here in the video where we get into how Jason Williams tricked the Philadelphia 76ers into trading for him. Because after everything that happened in Phoenix, of course, Jason Williams had a pretty bad reputation in the league so far, especially when you combine the fact that because he broke his foot during his senior season in college, he was, in his own words, fat and out of shape. This meant that before trading for Jason, the Philadelphia 76ers decided that they had to see him for themselves. They wanted to make sure that he was not as fat as people were saying. They wanted to make sure that he was going to be able to get into shape, and they wanted to make sure that his broken foot was fine, and so was his attitude problem. And so according to Jason, Harold Katz, then the owner of the 76ers, and Gene Shue, then the general manager, met Jason in a midtown hotel in New York City and wanted him to run up and down in a hotel ballroom. Basically, they just wanted to make sure that Jason was in good enough shape to play in the NBA, but Jason had other plans. Because as he said, I told him I understood their concerns, but I had a better idea. Instead of running up and down in a damn ballroom, why didn't I run up and down on a basketball court for them? I said, we can go to a park by my house. They thought that was a great idea, and we agreed to go on down there. Now, what the 76ers owner and general manager did not know was that Jason not only knew this park very well, but he also had happened to go to school right near this park. And so before his official tryout with the Philadelphia 76ers, Jason put in a phone call to his old school's principal and asked him for a favor, which meant when Jason Williams, Harold Katz, and Gene Shue showed up to the park that was by Jason's house, the principal of the school had let the whole school out early, and there were 900 kids in the park. This was already a calculated move by Jason, as he wanted as much fandom as possible for himself at this park. He wanted a high energy arena, and he got it, as the kids were screaming Williams, Williams, Williams when he showed up. And then, to put it in his words, and I'm running and dunking and jumping up and down and up and down. I'm flying. It's like one of those bad made for TV movies. I mean, I'm 2 feet above the rim, scraping my my elbows on metal. And the kids are screaming and Harold and Gene are happy about the whole thing. They're talking to each other. Holy smokes, they're saying, we've got a steal with this guy, which was absolutely not the case, as during his rookie season in 1991, Jason Williams would average just 3.5 points per game, 2.1 rebounds per game, and average just 9.8 minutes per game. His second season in Philly was not much better, and as Jason would put it, Harold and Gene spent the next 2 years watching me miss layups, stumble around saying, what the heck happened at that park? Was that an optical illusion or what? They told Charles Barkley they were confused because they'd seen me playing about 2 feet above the rim. Charlie says, you seen who? Doing what? When? What Harold and Gene and Charlie didn't know is that the basket at that park is only 9 feet high. Yes, that is correct. In order to get out of Phoenix and in order to get traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, a city that was much closer to Jason Williams' hometown, Jason brought the Philadelphia 76ers owner and general manager to a park that had rims that were only 9 feet tall. As you can imagine, practically any player that is getting drafted in the first round of the NBA draft would look ridiculously athletic on a 9-foot rim. There was even a point in time where I was able to two-hand dunk on a 9-foot rim. So I can only imagine how good Jason Williams looked on a 9-foot rim. The Sixers would eventually trade Jason Williams to the Nets for 2 second-round picks, which of course meant that Jason's career got off to a rocky start, to say the least. Eventually though, in 1998, he would develop into an NBA All-Star before eventually suffering a leg injury that would end his career. And again, if you guys do want to know the story about Jason Williams and the manslaughter case that he was involved in, the link to that video will be in the description. As for now, we are done with this video, so if you enjoyed it, it would be awesome if you subscribed and turn on post notifications. We are on a grind here. We are not stopping. If you could also like the video, it would help out a ton. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You're awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day, guys, and cue that music. If you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are definitely going to enjoy. Make sure to click on one of them. Again, I know you're going to love it. And other than that, have a great day and peace.